If you're struggling with self-doubt and negative self-talk, this video is for you, because today I want to show you how you can fix that for once and for all. This is something I hear all the time. Now, first of all, please understand, this is not your fault, because this is not even the real you. I know this sounds weird, and I'm going to explain. What's happening here, and of course from my perspective as a hypnotherapist who typically helps a lot of people who come to me as a last resort. They have already been to therapy, they have already read the books, they have already watched the videos, they have already been to the resorts and to the retreats, and they have already jumped through all kinds of hoops, only to find that the problem is still there. Whether that problem is anxiety or depression or negative self-talk or procrastination. What's really going on with this problem that absolutely we need to get rid of it, because this is the thing that might be holding, not just might, this is the thing that is holding you back from you being your best self, from you doing the things you know you should do, you know would be so good for you, but for some reason you're not doing them. So keep in mind, this is not a problem of logic or intelligence, okay? And what I mean about this isn't even the real you is this. There is actually a subconscious program that is running the show, controlling your life, trying to convince you and convey to you that you should have this self-doubt and you should listen to this negative self-talk. Now, if this sounds a bit weird to you, I'm going to go a little bit deeper to help you explain. Again, please understand, this is not your fault. You're not broken. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you. Logic is not going to fix this. Listening to more motivational videos is not going to fix this. Getting a pep talk from a mentor coach most likely isn't going to fix this in the long term. Yes, it might nudge you in the short term, temporarily. And no, please don't the should. I should this and I should that and I should be further ahead and I should have figured this out. But now I get, again, all that makes sense logically, except this is not a logical problem. A lot of people think they need more self-discipline, they need more willpower, they need more motivation, they should push themselves, they should force themselves, they should have bigger, better goals. No, none of those are required. Again, I am totally in favor of goals and having a mission, passion. Absolutely, yes. But what I notice with so many exceptional, beautiful, smart, intelligent, capable, competent people is that it isn't something outside of them that is stopping it. It's actually something inside of them. And very often it is that negative self-talk. Very often it is the fear. Very often it is the anxiety. Very often it is that self-doubt. Whatever, I'm repeating myself. So here's what's going on. I'm going to try to explain this so that it makes sense to you. When I refer to a program, a subconscious program, which, by the way, that's what I work with. I work with the person's subconscious. They have already tried to fix this with the conscious mind. Usually doesn't work. Because if that would have worked, you would have worked it by now. You would have, those motivational books and the self-development help and all that would have kicked in by now. Or therapy. And again, nothing against those things. Those are amazing things. And yes, I'm a fan of meditation and visualization and affirmation. Those are all fantastic. But if there is a program inside of you that is preventing you from implementing that, now we have a different problem. This is, again, this is not you, and this is not for lack of effort. And no, you don't need to work harder. And please don't get me started with the hustle grind mentality. None of that is required. What is required? We need to look at you and help you see what is it that is controlling you, what is it that is running the show. And when I refer to a program, what I mean here is this. Chances are, and by the way, for most people, this happened before the age of 10. Most people, and this is not an exaggeration, I would say 99% of the people that I work with, when we go into this rabbit chase, when we go into this hunt, when we become the detective to understand, wait a minute, what is causing the negative self-talk? What is causing the self-doubt? when we go on this chase, guess what? Usually we get to an experience before the age of 10 where for you, guess what happened? Something happened, a very emotional experience. Yes, some people call it trauma. Some people call it bad memories. Some people call it, forgotten memories. Doesn't really matter for the sake of this video what we call it. What's more important to understand, something happened to you. And that experience might have caused you to either feel overwhelmed, shock, confusion, anger, fear. Perhaps somebody tried to say to you or show you somehow in a convoluted way that you're not good enough, or you'll never amount to anything, or that they're deeply disappointed in you, or that you're not important, or that you're unlovable, or who knows, I've heard, in other words, something happened where you then started to conclude, you then started to believe, I'm not good enough, or I'm unlovable, or I don't deserve success, I don't deserve love, I'm in love. It comes in all kinds of shapes and forms. Okay? And guess what? If a little child experiences that, and if they start to believe that about themselves, or the world is a dangerous place, or that stranger danger, or that people can't be trusted, or again, it comes in so many different shapes and forms. Guess what? Those are the beliefs that we then carry forward with us into the future. Those are the beliefs and the emotions. Very often, a child didn't have the opportunity to process those emotions about that experience. So now what happens is those emotions stay inside of us. It's almost like this energy stays here and it starts to build. And so when I meet a person who's 55 years old and they complain to me that no matter what, they still feel so anxious and they have, nightmares and they have insomnia and they have ruminating thoughts, I already know this is not because of their current life experience. This is not because of the problems they have. This is not because of the challenges. No, this is because something that happened most likely before the age of 10, where that little child did not yet have the opportunity to process those emotions, to move through that experience with dignity, with grace, with strength, with courage, with confidence. And so now that literally, that story kind of stays hanging over our head, so to speak. And and this is how I like to work, until we go back and figure out, wait a minute, what happened to you for you to cause this self-doubt and this negative self-talk? And very often we find it's because of what happened to you. And that's not enough. And then the conclusions you drew from that, the beliefs that you adapted from that moment. So needless to say, if from the age of 8, I fundamentally believe about myself that I'm not good enough and I'm not worthy and I'm not lovable, how might I show up in the world? Proud and confident and full of myself? Probably not. So then that means the program is running the show. The program continues to convince me, seduce me, that I shouldn't put myself out there, because what if people judge me, and what if they criticize me, and what if they reject me? That's the little chirping voice inside that is preventing so many exceptional, incredible people from shining their greatness, so to speak. So this is like a virus that is running the show. And in my opinion and in my experience, this is why just a little bit of pep talk and watching motivational videos or meditating or saying affirmations isn't gonna work deep enough. We have got to get rid of the weed by the root. Just cutting the grass isn't gonna cut it. Temporarily it might look good, but upon close inspection, we can see that there's more that meets the eye. So how do we get rid of this? By working with the person's subconscious to, first, we got to figure out what is causing this problem. What is the story that is linked to this? What is the memory? What are the beliefs? What are the conclusions? What are the emotions that this person might still be holding on to? So many people carry guilt, shame, and blame and fear around with them, unbeknownst to them, because it's lodged in their subconscious. What they do consciously realize is, oh, I have this anxiety, I have insomnia, I'm shy. It's another great example. I promise you, you're not shy. I promise and guarantee you are not shy. That is just something that you might have concluded. So I just got a call. Hopefully hopefully the sound will still go through. So is this making sense? Because once we identify what caused this, and then you can gain a big perspective about that, and you can start to connect the dots and be like, oh, no wonder this led to that, and that led to this, and so on. And then you start to, literally, the breadcrumbs are there. You start to connect the dots, and then you can change your mind about this and start to believe a different story. That's when your confidence comes back. That's when your resilience comes back. That's when you finally start to see who you really are and how powerful you really are. And all of you, like literally all those resources and gifts. And again, I believe, not just believe, I know for sure, every single human being is born with something very, very, very special, exceptional about them. That is a guarantee. I know that for sure. But whether we find that gift or not, that's up to us. And there are so many people who are stuck with these subconscious blocks, who really deep down they know they're meant for more, that they know, but something is holding them back. And that's what I refer to as these subconscious blocks. So, and once you actually do this work, as Carl Jung said, this is such a brilliant, phenomenal statement, that these are the shoulders that I stand on. Until you make conscious what's in your unconscious, it will continue to control your life. And then we call it bad luck, fate, genetics. That's just how it is. No. Or another way he said it is, if you are not willing to face the unconscious inside of you, unless you're willing to do this inner work, life is going to present it to you. So we have a choice. Either way, these things are going to come to us through crisis or tragedy, or because that's just how life goes. Or we can volunteer for this work. We can go inside, do this deep inner work, and then literally you're presented with these incredible resources that are already inside of you. And that's when life suddenly starts to get so much sweeter and so much better and so much richer. And this is, again, I'm just speaking from experience and from having worked with so many people, all walks of life, all kinds of histories, all kinds of stories. And many of them, absolutely, talk about PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Most of these people, again, usually come to me as a last resort. I've been to therapy, I've been to doctors, I've been to psychologists, I've taken the meds, I've done this, I've done that, but I still don't feel like myself. I still have this problem. I hear you. And this is something I hear all the time. And again, I want to remind you, it's not your fault. It's not because you're not invested enough. It's not because you haven't spent enough money. In a nutshell, you have been given an approach, a method that is incomplete. That's all. Literally, you cannot fix a biological, because this block, right? It doesn't just live in your head. It's not just a mental thing. It's not just a mind thing. We have mind, body that work together. The anxiety doesn't live in your head alone. It lives in your body. The body keeps the score, which is a phenomenal book title. I don't recommend the book for many reasons, but the book title, spot on. The body keeps the score. And if you're experiencing symptoms of feeling nervous, anxious, depressed, empty, right, overwhelmed, those are symptoms in the body. And I understand those symptoms to be messengers. They're trying to communicate to us about, hey, this is unfinished business. And we get to finish it when you're ready. And that's when, again, the reward of this, again, not comfortable work, not convenient, not fun, although I try to make it as fun as possible, the reward is that you finally start to feel self-confident. You gain this new self-esteem, self-worth that, again, has always been there, but it's, for most people, it's laying dormant. Potential, human potential, that too, laying dormant underneath all that noise, underneath all these distractions. So that's how we fix this here. So I hope this made sense. And obviously, if you want more, you need more, you know where to find me. Have an amazing day. I'll see you soon.